Hi, I'm Veronica and welcome to my channel. Today I would like to show you how you could engage your universal core, which is much more than simply your abs, in a very playful way, so that you don't even feel that you're doing any work. You might need a Pilates ball for one of the practices. If you don't have it, you can just do all the other ones. So let's begin. Let's start by making the way down to the ground. And actually, this is the first moment when you can start using the universal core and start sliding, rolling yourself down to the ground. So here, check if you really need your hands for that. Start by tilting the pelvis and then gradually roll yourself one vertebra at a time, ending with the head. Land here for a moment. You might place the hand over the belly and have a couple of deeper breaths where the abdomen expands, and then exhalation. There is a moment of release. And you can move your arms out to the sides and lift your feet off the ground. And as you here start moving the knees out to the side a little bit, keeping the legs together but relaxed. So you're balancing on one buttock, the other hip is up in the air. And you can check if you can get a little bit farther without lifting the shoulder blade off the ground. At any point, if you feel that there is back muscles working too strong and kind of gripping, or maybe if you feel that there's any shaking happening, then you're probably going a little bit too far. So there's no point to overdo it. And if you're gonna be there shorter time, it's gonna feel easier. If you're gonna stay there for a little bit longer, that might feel like slightly more challenge. So go with whatever works for you at this moment. Okay. And then you can land with one foot and the other. I'm going to do something very simple. So here you have your knee above the hip. And then when you lower the toes to the ground, you just tap very lightly. And then you return, and you want to keep the pelvis in the same position as you do that. You can use the exhalation to tap and then inhalation to return. And you might feel that already lots of things are engaging on that one side for it to happen. So this is a kind of starting point. You might check if it's gonna work with how it's gonna work on the other side first. Maybe one side feels a little bit more stable, easier. And then eventually you wanna try the same with both knees just above the hips and tapping, but without changing the position of the lower back and the pelvis as you do that. And if there's a lot of tension happening in the shoulders, then it might be a sign that it's too much, and it's better to start with one at a time. So a little start of waking it all up. Okay, and after we're done with that, it might be nice to do a little bit of a rubbing or a few breaths where you expand the abdomen just to loosen it all out. And then we're gonna play a little bit with that universal core again. So this time, there's gonna be a little bit of rock involved, and eventually you're going to land again, balancing on one buttock, and also getting a little bit of support from the forearm. But it's important that you're not really sinking into that forearm, that it's mostly you're being kept there by this universal core. So you're rolling and coming up, but like really trying to work out. Like you're not lifting yourself with the arm. The arm is there for a little bit of support, but just as well it might not be there. And you're balancing on one hip, so your legs are in the air, you're here. And then you're rolling yourself down and trying the same on the other side. So there's this little bit of support from the forearm, but not too much. You're balancing on one hip, the legs are in the air, and you roll yourself down. It's slightly playful. The momentum helps you a little bit. Check that you're not doing it with the arm, and it's so many parts of the body that need to work and cooperate in that. And you definitely will feel it in the middle of you. Okay, so you again do it only as many times as you feel that it's not overstraining your system. Then you can rock, roll, do anything else that feels right for you. And then if you have a Pilates ball, try also this one. You place that Pilates ball underneath your sacrum. So it's important it's not somewhere at the end of your buttocks, it's not underneath your lower back. You're really searching for that big flat triangle bone. That's where it lands. And you might already feel that when you're here, it's kind of wobbly, you're moving all directions. You might want to move the arms out to the sides for extra support. Check how it would be to lift one leg and then you lift the other leg. And even if it's static, there's still lots of kind of work going on for this to happen. Lots of stabilization. And to play with it, you can shift. You can move your pelvis, you can move your legs, and obviously plenty of various spots within your universal core need to constantly turn on for this to happen. So it's dynamic, it's playful, and it really works in a non-obvious way. So it's not like linear and always just turning on one particular section or one particular muscle. It's really everything has to fire together for this to happen. So you can keep playing with it for as long as you wish. And then when you're ready, land with one foot, land with the other foot. Rest here. Always give yourself a nice rest before you finish. I hope you enjoyed this short and playful practice. And the playfulness is really a key here because this is one of the ways where you can break up with this pattern of being afraid of movement or avoiding the movements. It's your pathway towards a more functional movement and a healthier self. And please check out my free resources. See you next time. If you suffer from chronic pain and need a tool that will help you to decrease the intensity of that sensation right at the moment when you experience it, I invite you to download for free my first aid for pain. It's a 7-minute long audio recording, which you can get from my website. I link it here and also in the description of this video.